Hello, everyone. Welcome back to SimRacingOnline.co.uk, where we're doing a BTCC, the 19th version. We're doing a championship which consists of 6 races. We are in the second round. I hope you checked the other one. If you didn't, make sure you go to the YouTube channel or our Twitch channel, which you're watching right now, and you will see the VOD of what happened next race, which there have been a lot of spicy things. Today track is Knox Hill. It's 4.2 kilometers. That's incorrect. The correct version will be told to you by our dear friend Ricardo, who loves dearly this series. It's an amazing series with a lot of drivers, a lot of potential. We've got 3 different cars, and it's plenty of action. We hope you stay with us and see it till the end because it's half an hour. It's not too much. It's the perfect time. It has been a change by John from it was 45 before. Now it changed to 30 minutes, which should give a more action pack and opens up a lot of opportunities for many drivers because last time they were thinking about betting some of it, which some of them already did, and it turned out to be too long. Now half an hour seems to be like the ideal time to be in. Now, as we're in Knox Hill, I'm sure Ricardo has done a testing on it and he has a word about it. What do you think, Ricardo?
Yeah, hello everyone. Very technical track, short one. So I think we are gonna look to very close lap times because there aren't many places where you can do difference. But it's a very tricky track, especially for the S curve in the middle, which is a blind on the right corner of the chicane. I'm sure we're gonna see a pretty fun race. Uh, Remember last time we have 3 available cars, but the last race we only saw 2 cars. The Volvo S40 now we are looking at with amazing livery, and the Vauxhall Cavalier. I don't know if anyone switched to the Nissan Primera today, but I hope someone does. I've been trying these 3 cars. I made some laps with all the 3 cars around Knockhill, and yes, the Volvo seems the fastest one. So yeah, pretty nice choice. Oh, as we speak, look at Phil Brown during the quali missing the first corner. That's really tricky corner because it's coming down when you turn to the right and it's blind on the exit, so it can be a really tricky.
It, it looks like he went rallying for a second there, didn't he?
Absolutely. And speaking which, Nas, we see a new name that wasn't racing on the first race, but it's now in. It's a very known name if you watching SRO streamings. It's Tony Tolvici joining us
Hmm.
for today. Yeah, I think that look at the times, really close as we were saying before.
I noticed Usama Magnani in first place for the first time in these 2 races, although Taylor is really putting an effort and only 2 tenths down compared to the Moroccan driver. Oh, look at Robin Taylor absolutely on the edge in corner number 1. He's throwing that Volvo onto the curves with no regard.
To me, it looks
Oh,
like
and there we
again.
go. That's unfortunate. That's Taylor crashing into the back of one of the Cavaliers. Kirill Kirillov then with that beautiful blue Volvo. Sorry guys, but I have a soft spot for blue liveries. You know that.
I know
Kirillov
that.
aborting his laps. For some reason, he didn't have a very good middle sector, although he's only 2 tenths down compared to Samagnani effort. So weird to see Kirillov aborting, although we see a very close midfield as well, all the way from P5 to P9. Many guys close together. Um, and also, guys, let me just point out that it's the first time that I see the name Charlesworth here. I don't think he was racing in Brands Hatch.
Absolutely not. This is the first time. Something to point out, Lorenzo, to you is that you cannot use escape in the qualifying. So if you crash like that, your qualification is over. Now, if he goes out again, that's going to be a DQ, unfortunately.
Oh, so Taylor will not have pole position then because he crashed. And I think he crashed with Stephen Wenham. And that's a disaster for Wenham because he was very fast in Brands Hatch, so he was really feeling the car on himself. It's such a shame to see him starting from P14 due to what happened earlier. As we see Richard Charlesworth now starting another time lap. Look at the Volvo on the sausage curb, absolutely on the edge.
Yeah, I mean he's absolutely on it. He's sucking those. He's oh
Ooh.
sorry about that. I was trying to say he's trying to hug in those apexes, and make use all of the track of the available track, isn't he, Ricardo?
Absolutely, absolutely, and this is really tricky, as you can see from the onboard. Um, uh, as I said before, I was trying to do some laps, and I think the most important corner of the track are the two chicanes, which is the first corner and the middle chicane that we just saw, because they are blind corners. You will see in a second with the flying lap of Charles. Well, look at this. You come down, fifth gear, down to four or third, depending on what you're feeling. Try to keep it tight on the left, just to prepare the right turn here. Very, very tight turn there. And now we go to the best part of the track. Look at this. Blind corner, full third gear. You have to just brake slightly just to keep the car into the into the line, and then long right on the long right. Yeah, beautiful track. Very short but beautiful. And then we come to the probably one of the most perfect overtaking point on the track, which is the right hairpin right there. You can do in first gear or second gear depending on what you are feeling. But yeah, very nice track and very nice lap. Probably, let's see, 55.4. Not a super lap, but I mean, pretty nice.
Usama was
You
on
see,
a
Usama Magnani absolutely on it. He improved on his previous effort by less than a tenth of a second, but still, he brings himself clear from Taylor and Kirillov by about 4/10 of a second. So good effort from Usama, who is using the Volvo. Was he using the Volvo as well in the first race? I think he was, but he had a different livery.
Yeah,
he
he
was
got
yeah.
the yellow livery, which we saw in the front of him right now.
Looks to me as if he's overdriving a bit. He's trying to find the absolute limit. I wonder if he has learned the lesson from Brands Hatch.
I don't really know, Laura. We know that Osama is very quick on the single lap, but can have some problem during the race. Let's hope to see him have a good pace, have a regular pace, and not making much errors. Because I really want to see a fight with Kirillov, since down to P6, actually 7, we are inside 1 second.
I was checking the times now, and Kirillov improved by a long distance. He was 4/10 down the lap before, and he now improved by almost 3/10 of a second. He's now 0.142 from Usama. So
He is.
big effort from Kirillov.
Usama is not doesn't want to give up this race. I think he wants to prove himself in this time and show.
Kirillov with a personal best first sector, he still has time for a timed lap.
Yeah, but Usama is improving. He got the fastest sector too, by 3,000 of a second. They're absolutely giving it all.
And look at Kirillov. This is 1 versus 1. Kirillov versus Nani. Unfortunately, Taylor out of the question.
Actually, Usama improved with a 52.081. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, and almost.
Nani improved.
Precisely 2/10 of a second.
Nani has improved by 20,000 of a second.
Wait, guys, because I think he is on a flying lap again. Probably.
He is. It looks like both of them are not giving up with the time we have left. Probably it's over. It is over indeed. So this is the last lap for Kirill and for Usama. It looks like he got the chance to get another lap, and he got the fastest first sector and the fastest sector too as we speak right now. Absolutely killing it. Looks like Kirill is not improving at all. Actually, he's 2/10 down on sector 1, so not sure. 5/10 down. I think that's it for Kirill. He's not going to improve. So this is a provisional pole for Usama so far. Usama absolutely on it. As we see, as we saw before, Taylor and Stephen William cannot go back, so unfortunately they're both staying in their pit box. But Usama aborts for some reason and doesn't finish his lap. Yeah, he doesn't. He was improving and somehow decided to abort, or maybe the session didn't let him. That was weird.
Maybe we did a mistake. I don't know.
It could be. Wow, what a very close battle. The first, all the way, it looks like within eight, seven drivers, everyone are within 1 second. From Tony Talviti, who's didn't have a strong comeback, but he's definitely right there. 1 second, that's not too shabby from the leader. I mean, he's not in 1 second actually; it's 8/10.
Usama Magnani then taking pole position from Kirill Kirillov, Askinis with a great P3, and Taylor with a P4, Phil Brown then in P5 with the first of the Vauxhalls, Tim Cartwright in P6, Tony Talvicia then in P7 making his return, Mark Hythree in P9, John Vidiguest not failing the setup on his Volvo in P10, Michael Abel in P11, Peter Vlaar in P12, Richard Charlesworth, effectively the rookie of the series, and Stephen Wenham in last place. Unfortunately, Stephen was involved in a crash. Usually, he's very, very quick in these cars. I think we're going to see him make some progress, especially in
Absolutely.
the first lap.
Of course, Lorenzo. You know what, Lorenzo? This is probably irrelevant, but now that I think about it, when I was speaking, I said sucking, but since you said sausage, it had me thinking of ribs. And I was imagining eating ribs for some reason. I know it's irrelevant. That's why I said sucking to make it clear to the audience it was not what you think. It is not. Go ahead, Rico.
Oh well, nice quality. I was expecting a close pack because I said before the track is really short, 2 kilometers length. Um, so we have to understand that 1 second uh, behind in a 2 kilometers track is a lot. Um, but a nice thing I noticed while trying the cars around this track is that you don't have much tire degradation because you don't have like Brands Hatch long turns pointing on the wheels. Are mostly chicanes and sharp turns. So it will be nice because I think that we are gonna see everyone pushing from the start to the end, and no one playing for his stars. I mean, we are gonna see more than 30 laps because 30 minutes race with a lap time that is uh, near to 50, lower than 1 minute, so more than 30 laps probably we're gonna see.
Something you're not going to see, Ricardo, is the Nissan. Nobody is driving a Nissan today.
There must be something weird with the BOP on the Nissan. I think because people need to understand that these cars come in a separate mod. So every car is a mod itself. So they found a way merging the cars together so that it looks like it's one mod only. But there's probably some differences in performance in the Nissan Primera compared to the Volvo and the Vauxhall. As we see, was that Flavio Botska in the red car? Or because I remember he was the only one using that livery in Brands Hatch.
It probably
If
was.
we could see the names on the cars, that would be nice. That
Yeah,
that is that is Flavio Botska. He
Yeah.
was very very quick in Brands Hatch. He was fighting for P4, and at some point he was actually fighting for a podium. I believe
Yeah,
he came
he
home in
made.
P3
Yeah, he
at
made.
the end of the
true.
race after a very long battle with Usama and a couple of other drivers.
Well
Uh,
earned, of course.
yeah, and great to see him back in Knockhill here.
Yeah, I did a very smart race on Brands Edge because he waited. He was keeping his tires, and then in the last part of the race, he unleashed all the tire he had and like fly away from the guys behind him, which were I think Cartwright and yeah, probably Samagnani. I don't remember.
Yeah, you're correct. It was Cartwright and Usamanani, indeed. He made up four, actually, yeah. He qualified four and made up a lot of places. Definitely great performance driving for the Flying Crowbar Racing. Mark Hightree is his teammate, by the way. So interesting track. I wish the turn one doesn't happen what happens in Brad Hatch because that mayhem made a great changes in the midfield. I would say it's not up. It did. It made a difference in Usama, but Usama was definitely pushing it, so that he lost a lot of places, of course, and went off track so many times. I'm sure he learned from that, and probably we see him in a better shape today. Hopefully.
And I think also what happened in Brands Hatch was that people were not used to have starts in those kind of rows because Brands Hatch has two people in the front row, then three people, then two people again. So it was a bit of a mess in the first corner. I think it was Paul Upham who got punted out before even the race was started. So many things can happen here as well because the first corner does not allow many mistakes. But I actually trust the drivers, and I think they're going to do a better job at the start.
Optimistic, Lorenzo. I don't know about Ricardo though. Are you optimistic, or you think a mayhem is happening?
I think Ricardo had an issue with his connection. He's restarting his computer, and he will be right back.
Sounds good. I will be in neutral, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I want to be surprised as much as the viewers, because as much as we commentate, we are viewers as well, and we enjoy this as much as you do. So let's be entertained.
Race is about to start. Warm up is over. People have a bit of breathing space to check on their setups and tire pressure and what's not. Stamagnani will start from P1. There we see the cars lining up on the racetrack. Knockhill is a very old school track, and what a great scene to see these cars putting their tires on the tarmac here once again.
So no formation
Then,
lap.
no formation lap. It's going to be a start, a standing start, and immediate race start.
Here we go.
Green light. A good start from Kirillov, who got a great run in first gear. He's actually P1. Usama Magnani will need to protect the outside line from Robin Taylor. And look at also the other cars. Let's see if everybody comes home unscathed from turn one. I think they did. That's a good start. Tony Talvice then almost touching the back of what I believe to be Askinis at this point. And
Kirillov one goes off track.
Kirillov off the track. He was starting in P1. What happened there? I think he may have touched with Nani.
Ooh, he just understeered his way to the wall, to the Shadow Realm. Very unfortunate, but I think he can recover. It's still 29 minutes. He's not too far behind. He can get some positions, but the man of the day, Nani, takes back the lead.
Let's hope Kirillov doesn't have too many.
Oh, and look at behind them. Sorry to cut you off there, Ricardo, but behind them, mayhem between Charles.
Ooh, someone went to the wall there.
Yeah, and Boltka and Brown. I think it's Kirillov again.
Oh my.
No,
it might be Kirillov again.
It was someone else.
No, I don't think it was.
Charsworth off the track. It's
Here
gonna be
comes.
join.
Oh, that was scary.
Oh, that was dangerous.
So many things happening at the same time. Hard to keep up, but we're doing our best. I mean, look at this. Full packed action.
And still a yellow flag in Sector 1.
And it seems like
Vlar and Charsworth, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at that.
again.
In the back, spinning his way.
He needs to be careful because Vlar is right behind him.
Here comes
It was
Kiro.
one of the cars who spun out in the first lap as Nani signs the first best lap time of the race. He leads with a 2.1 gap over Robin Taylor, who needs to keep an eye on his rear view mirrors because Cartwright is right there with him. Askin is then about 4 seconds behind them, followed by Tony Talvice, then Vidi Guest, Brown, Boltka, and Hightree, the first 9 people.
I think what Usama also needs to care about is his tires as much as his rear mirror as well, because if those fails, he got no way to keep that position.
Yeah, and he did make a mistake this lap because Taylor has been gaining steadily in the first two sectors. He's working together with Cartwright, who looks to be patient at this moment. Doesn't
It's
look as Cartwright wants to battle Taylor too much because I think they need to catch Nani as we see Phil Brown challenging John Vitiges. Look at how
Ooh.
unusual this is. John Vitiges having to protect from Phil Brown as we see another car off the track.
Ooh, I don't know who's
Another car,
that.
that's one of the front runners. That's Taylor.
That is
That's
Taylor
Taylor
indeed. I wonder
spinning
what
out.
happened.
I think he jumped on the curb a bit too hard and the car just understeered off the track.
Very harsh track indeed.
Ooh, and look at that. Robin Taylor all the way to P5 now.
Devastating for the man. Doing so great, keeping up that lead. Or sorry, staying in the leaders. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to fight his way back. But I'm sure Osama doesn't feel the pressure since he knows Kirill is all the way behind P11. And it
The
seems we
first,
have.
the first of the Vauxhalls, Ludas Askinis. That's a great way of joining the championship for the first time. And Askinis was starting from P4, if I remember correctly, or P3. Yeah, it was actually starting from P3, but he did put one lap in during qualifying. Right in the closing stages, as we see Phil Brown, what happened to him?
Ooh, goes on top of the sausage there.
He was battling with John Vitiges, so maybe we missed it, but maybe a contact was made
He's
with
attacking. I think he's
the.
attacking those curbs so much.
Yeah, he was overdriving, maybe. I don't know, but probably something happened between him and John, as we see Tony Talvice now all over Ludas Askinis, who's trying to protect his line, jumps on the inside of the track.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I think Tony might have the edge. The Vauxhall is keeping up greatly, though.
But he needs not to fall for the pressure. As you know, Kirill just puts his own pressure on you and lets you try to keep up with it. But unfortunately, most drivers don't, and that's what made him win 4 championships indeed.
Labi then, not confirming his shape that he showed in Bransash at the moment. He's down in P8 and fighting with Mark Heithrich.
Wow, this race did not disappoint Lorenzo and Ricardo.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm loving it already.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what you expect from a BTCC, a super touring race, contacts, and everything else. So
Middle finger.
I hope that it keeps up like this.
I don't know if people don't get the reference. Search BTCC, you'll find what I'm talking about.
We are watching
Kirillov, I think.
Kirillov, yeah. Kirillov following Michael Labelle. And look at Michael Labelle holding up Kirillov. What a great way of showing your driving pedigree, beating pretty much the dominator of the Brands race back 1 week ago. Look at him jumping on the curbs. He might have the run though on Michael. Michael needs to protect the inside. Decides not to. But he trusts the car, but oh, look at that!
And they touch.
They touch, but Labelle is able to keep his position at least for now. And look behind them. Behind them is Phil Brown, who was one of the fastest guys in qualifying and also in Brands Hatch. He will not want to stay behind these guys if they decide to battle with each other.
I think Michael Labelle is such a gentleman. I think he thought he was by his side and tried not to close on him.
Oh, as we get a yellow flag in Sector 2. Not sure why.
Yeah, and Nas, I would say that Kirillov was too, because I think he braked when he saw that he touched.
Oh,
he did.
Who's that? Peter Vlar. That's Peter Vlar. Slow again in Sector 2.
Ooh. Why is he going slow?
I'm not sure. Maybe he just stopped to let everyone by. He was already one lap down.
That's a great livery, Lorenzo, isn't it?
That's a beautiful livery indeed.
As the Daily Mail livery as well goes up and down, still chasing that guy.
And both Phil Brown and Kirillov just overtook Labelle. think Labelle made a mistake.
Yeah, Labelle must have made a mistake because he's now 2 seconds behind, almost 3 seconds behind Phil Brown. Something must have happened to the Volvo. I think now that Kirillov and Brown have a bit of clear air, they need to work together if they want to go back in the top 5.
Speaking of the leaders,
They don't want to battle too much with each other if they want to catch up, and they need to overtake Haife and Bodka and VD Guest, who are not slouch.
speaking of the leaders, if Usama manages to win, this is going to be great for him as we see side by side and three
wide.
Oh my, we watching NASCAR now?
Kirillov now, Phil Brown trying to go around the outside. That's going to be tricky there. And Kirillov managing, what an amazing move. 3 wide at knockhill. You don't see that every day.
Such courageous. And he's still attacking that inside.
Phil Brown has tremendous speed under braking. He's so strong in the braking areas.
Yeah, and that was the typical love tap of the Super Touring.
Look at the right. Ricardo, take this right. Side by side, going to T1.
Yeah, but this is Peter Vlar, so I think he's going to break. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's a lap car, so he doesn't want to. And actually, we are looking to the battle between the two leaders of the standings, because both Kirillov and Brown were P1 and P2 on the first race at Brands Hatch, so they are actually fighting for the lead, I think.
Well, if Usama manages to win, he will be the leader of the championship, actually.
Yeah, but not by a long shot. Not by a long shot, because Kirillov will still get points as it stands now, and Bodka must have lost a position there. We see John Vidiguest going around the outside. Look at the top speed from the Volvo. Bodka not having an answer at the moment. It looks to me as the Volvo has better top speed, but the Vauxhall is the car to beat under braking.
Can we just give it to VD Guest from going all the way P10 all the way to P6? Such a great improvement.
Actually, Laura, I think Bodka was already P7, so I think it was Bodka under it was VD Guest under attack of Bodka, probably. I don't know.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, it might have been.
And I think High3 is saying, like, please keep fighting, guys.
That's his dream right in front of his eyes. All he needs is contact.
Yeah. By the way, Laura, you were correct. Sorry to cut you off now, but the Vauxhall seemed to me like the best braking car, even because without the wing on the back, because we've been speaking about it the last race, this Vauxhall is like the first generation of Super Touring, so a bit more old than the Volvo and the Primera that are actually on the mod. Yeah, the Vauxhall seemed to be the best braking car, even because it has a slightly understeer due to the lack of the rear wing, so it's a bit more easy to throw the car into the corners.
That's a great analysis by Ricardo. He's quite an expert on these type of cars. As we see, Tony Talvice still not able to pass Judas Askinis, and that's kudos to Askinis. You have to give it to the guy, because Tony Talvice is a terrific driver, one of the best.
Nani!
Look at Nani.
Nani almost off the track.
No, he made a mistake. Look at Cartwright gap right now.
Yeah, he did.
Right,
He did.
and look!
Oh, there goes the drifting.
That is VD Guest. VD Guest sideways.
I think he did it for the camera.
You are watching the leader, and look at John VD Guest off again.
That's not for the
able
camera.
to rejoin. I think he might have front damage, because the front bonnet is skidding on the track. He was leaving sparks everywhere.
I think I've seen all the cars do that. It could be something else, Lorenzo, but it could be also damage to the bumper. But look at that. Yeah, you're right. A lot of skid. The damage is on 100%, so it could be it, Lorenzo.
That could be the reason why Vlar retired. Unfortunately, he did have a heavy contact with the barriers at the end of lap 1. As you are watching the two leaders, Nani and Cartwright, separated by less than 1.5 seconds, and they are both followed by Askinis and Talvice. So four very fast people on the same car pretty much. If not, Tim Cartwright was the guy that fortunately had a spin at Brands Hatch, but he was one of the fastest in qualifying. So I look forward to the other 17 minutes of the race because Nani is going to have to face tire wear a bit more than the others, I think, because he forced the pace at the beginning of the race. Whereas there we see Flavio Bosca trying his best. This picture reminds me of Harama 1981, where Gilles Villeneuve kept 5 guys behind him on a very slow Ferrari in the technical parts of the track. Of course, Jarama is a track located in Spain. It was used in the 80s for the Formula One championship. And Flavio Bosca probably doing the same thing here as we see another yellow flag. And there's a car on fire! There's a car on fire! That's
Oh
Stephen
my!
Wenham! That was Stephen Wenham with
What the?
probably terminal mechanical issue. The car was on
Probably,
fire.
probably downshifting.
I did not expect that.
And Luke was joining the party, by the way. Lorenzo Kirillov just catched John Vitigas and Brown
Mm.
following very closely.
It's a four-way battle, Ricardo.
That's gonna be a great battle to watch because Kirillov was the guy to beat. Vitigas protecting the inside a bit early. I think Kirillov might have the edge around the outside.
And a fight right ahead of him
Oh, what
happening.
happened to Vitigas? He's slowing down.
He led them by for some reason.
Yeah, I probably knew that it doesn't have the pace of the
So you
two
might
guys
argue.
behind him.
You might argue.
That's quite bad because we want to see a bit of fight, but
Oh, and guys, Michael Labelle also retired. So maybe Labelle and Wenham retired for the same reason. Maybe they had a contact, and Wenham suffered terminal engine problems.
It could be by running the curbs, as mentioned by our director, but I don't know. Very unfortunate indeed.
That's a very unfortunate problem for Labelle as well, because that's going to be another DNF for him. Wenham also needs to pick up the pace in the championship because that's the second straight no-point scoring position that he has. Flavio Bosca then in P6. Flavio, you have to, he's doing a great job. Last time around, he played the waiting game on everybody else to make mistakes and, go off the track, and he gained a podium. I wonder if it's going to be the same case again as Phil Brown. Phil Brown around and heavy damage into the wall.
Through the wall. Wow.
That's another DNF. Yes, Phil Brown. Oh, such a shame.
Indeed.
That's a bad shot for the standings because he was P2 and now he's going to end the race without any points.
Yeah, that's a massive shock to the standings because Kirillov is making progress and Brown cracking under pressure there by Kirill, and that's not what he will want to see on the standings because Nani is leading and Kirillov is P8, so they will both end up in the points as it stands now. Of course, I don't want any commentator curse today.
And Nani today is impressing me because he's not doing a lot of mistakes. I mean, I see that sometimes he does some minor mistake because it looks like the gap is going up and down. But I mean, it's driving pretty regular, if we can say. Not trying to overdrive the car. Probably he found something on the setup better than the Brands H1.
Nani somehow gains almost 1 second in the second sector, but he's very, very slow indeed in the first and the last. Although Cartwright now has a real, problem because look at that. In that corner, Usama gained 0.3 of a second. Cartwright needs to pick up the pace and try to keep it on the track as much as possible. Although Nani does have tire wear, and I think it's showing. It's showing because Cartwright is right there with him.
I think what Usama needs to do is not to do Usama things. So that is actually because Usama, it's in a good way because Usama is a guy who likes to pushes and gets everything out. This time he needs not to actually watch for his tires and wait until Cartwright gets if he gets closer by any chance, he will still have some life in his tires to protect his position.
Yeah, but guys, I wouldn't thing about the tire wear, because I told you I've been trying a lot of laps, and the tire degradation is very, very low on this truck. So I think that no one's looking for their tires right now.
Well, with that being
And
said, all Osama needs to do is keep his consistency.
yeah, so it's pretty fast down
We
the
got a
middle
yellow flag.
chicane. It's
Sorry,
amazing.
cut you off, guys, but we got a yellow flag in sector
Yeah,
one.
we did. I wonder what happened.
I'm not
Probably
sure.
a bit of
We
mistake
got
by
Brown.
Pirlo.
Brown is out.
Brown.
Yeah, Brown
Where's he
retired.
get?
Vidigast is alive, still alive.
He is.
Yeah, but I think that he made the mistake because it's clearly very, very closer. He lost a lot of. I don't know.
I think I agree with Ricardo. He should have not given those two positions that easily.
Robin Taylor with another purple sector in the last sector. Robin Taylor was the guy who challenged Nani for the top position. Is down in P5 after probably sustaining a bit of damage from the contact with the barriers. He's holding his own though. Is in P5. That's going to be a good position if he can keep it on the track.
I mean, he's about 10 seconds to Usama. He's not that far. All it takes now is
Oh,
Usama.
both guys around! And heavy
Oh
damage
no.
from a contact with high
Ooh.
free.
Hopefully that doesn't. I think it will.
He might
Where's
have
the
a
car?
suspension problem. He might have a suspension issue.
I think more than that because the damage is set to
Let's
the
look at
max.
that. Let's look at that. Let's keep an eye on Flavio Bottas. Such a shame. He was doing a great job in P6.
Somebody's in the pit.
Yeah, that's Charlesworth, but he was a couple laps down already.
Alvini gets a position handed in a golden plate.
And Talvica's getting desperate behind Haskins. I mean, I think by the end of the race, Tony can easily draw the back of the Cavalier right there.
I think what Tony needs to do is gets his head out and ask if I could pass, please. I'm tired of this because he's been fighting for this the whole long time, and he just can't find a way to get around.
So I was watching the gap between Knani and Cartwright. Seeing that Cartwright is incredibly fast on the first and last sector. So we're speaking about like what two corners. Anyway, it's pretty fast. Look at that on the first sector, but Nani is able to make the difference on.
Look at him.
That might be the reason. That's something the stewards will want to have a look at the end of the race.
To me, Usama, every lap he's qualifying.
Yeah, I think he needs to thank John Vitigas for shortening the race distance. He needs to be careful though, because throwing the car around like that might get you in trouble. And Cartwright, who is not being doing that during the race, still keeps up with Usama. So I don't think that's the winning strategy.
I think what Usama does, he's trying to widen the gap, and I think he's just overdoing it.
Ooh, look at Cartwright closing.
He gets close, but Usama manages
This is the corner. This is the corner right there. Usama is able to kind of maximize his line, and in corner exit, Cartwright is kind of taking all the measures to emulate that, and I think we're gonna see a spicy end of the race.
So either Cartwright goes for it and throws the car there, hoping it would stick so he doesn't lose the time all the time he makes around the other places in the track, or he keeps it this way and settle with P2.
I don't really know. I mean, it's 1.1, so if I was Team Cartwright, I would try to get that first place. I mean, now that you can, because Kirillov is out and Taylor, which was one of the guys to look after, is out too. So you have a good chance here to try to win the race, and you should take it. But we got the information that practically, looking through the split, Osama is gaining everything just on that corner. As I was saying at the beginning of the race, that corner can be the real
I
Yeah,
think we're being deceived, Ricardo, because it's not that corner I was watching. It's the exit he gets before it. He slows in and he goes slow in, fast out technique. So it gets him. Since it's a long straight, that corner actually doesn't really matter that much. But this time didn't manage to gain that much time.
yeah, but look at this. Cartwright
I mean, check
is
this out.
under the second for the first time. He
Indeed,
crossed the line under the
I want you
second.
to focus, Ricardo, on Osama. His exit. Look at the exit he builds right here. He's all the way up before the corner. Now, but when he goes after the corner, they're still the same distance they were in before it. So I believe it's the exit that makes all the difference.
I think that Osama is able to like point the car with the front and make it turn with his rear, so he has less time into the corner, and Cartwright can do that. But I mean, it's strange to see a gap go up and down like this. It seems like
Ooh, flashing
Osama's
his lights for some
pushing his
reason.
light.
Maybe the camera is in. Maybe he's watching the stream.
Maybe you're watching the stream. Hey, Osama, keep it up, boy.
He is absolutely keeping it up. Look at that. I don't know if that's allowed.
I think yes, because it's like all curb there. Um, so
Wow, I think he will get a lot of time for doing that. I don't know how much R Factor gives you. Probably 3 times. We will get a confirmation on that.
it depends. It depends, guys. It's a bit complicated.
So it seems like this track is not official, so track limits will be a little bit funky.
Yeah, the only big truck limits I saw is if you don't touch the curb on the middle chicane.
Ooh, check this out, Ricardo.
Yeah, I told you guys, Tony's getting desperate behind Askinis.
I
I
think
mean,
they
that's
use,
good because they have the same pace, but yeah, I think Tony wants that podium.
he definitely
Good,
wants. He's looking for it.
very good race by both, by the way, because they are able to make P3 and 4 with people who already raced with these cars.
Ooh, it seems like Cartwright is under 1 second, but he's getting close. He's smelling it. He can see the bumper right ahead. He sees that P1. He has 5 minutes. Can he do it? We're about to find out.
It's gonna be difficult because we see in other battles that you don't have many overtaking points. You have to have a good exit out of that right-hander before the hairpin. You have to be really close there or really close down here. Look at the sound.
This time he didn't win that wide. I think last time it was just
And
an
look at the mirror.
understeer.
Look at the mirror, Ness. Look at the mirror.
I'm watching it.
Cartwright's
It's
right there.
making me nervous just looking at it, Ricardo. I'm not even driving. Ooh, look. Yeah, you were gonna say the same thing, weren't you, Ricardo? Look at the gap.
Yeah, he gained like 0.5 of a second just from the. Was that Charlesworth?
Yeah, he's just doing his thing. Don't worry about it, Ricardo.
Plus 5 laps. Okay. It's a bit of complicated.
I think he
Race.
missed Richard Byrne rally, so he decided to take a spin.
Yeah, that's quite nice. So 4 minutes to go means 4 laps basically, maybe 5.
Ooh,
And Tony,
Tony, he isn't desperate anymore. Side by side.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the right position, is it, Ricardo?
absolutely, but I don't think you can do it from the outside.
Oh, it's Tony we're speaking. He can, absolutely, but he still holds it onto it.
Great defensive move by Askines. Very, very brave attempt by Tony. By the way, down there on the outside was pretty brave.
I mean, he holded it for 2 corners. There's something I didn't expect, and he's still behind. Desperation and courage at the same time, all mixed together, trying to get that position. He wants that podium.
Absolutely, but Askines is doing a great race. He didn't made any mistake right now. Look at there.
Yeah, you can see the reflection on the bumper. Look at that, Ricardo.
Absolutely. I think Tony can't stand anymore that Fujifilm sponsor on the back of the Cavalier. Again on the outside. Yeah,
Oh,
very tight.
so
Oh,
close, and he
is
waits.
he?
Is he gonna
Wait.
wait? I think Tony is gonna wait. Tony is not the type of
Yeah,
man to
yeah.
take it that easy.
Foremanship probably.
Look at that. He probably gonna give the position, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully that wasn't a lot of damage. Loses another position. Ooh, what is he doing, my man?
I don't know. And Taylor.
Looks
And
like
Taylor. Taylor went by.
Tony wants to give the position, but what is my man doing?
Damage probably.
Oh
Yeah.
my! I think Tony should just go on or serve a drive-through. That's gonna be costly.
Ye- I mean, uh, if you have, I mean, what Tony did is good. Look at that.
Look at him.
He
He's
lost
still
a lot
waiting.
of
Did you see
positions.
that,
Yeah,
Ricardo? He was still waiting.
he was still waiting and decided to lose all position. And Kirill thanking everyone and getting up to P5 and actually probably P4 because it's right behind High Tree right
He
now.
is. He's 2/10 behind. He's right behind. If we could take a look at Kirill right now, he's right behind him. I mean, look at that. If he gets P4, him and Usama will have similar points in the championship, but we will still leave Kirill on the top
And
because he was the one to get there. Isn't that correct, Ricardo?
I think that Kirill will be a bit more in front of Osama. I don't know. I don't remember.
No, I'll tell you this. Kirill got P1, Usama got P4. So now
Oh, so same
it is.
points.
They will get the same points.
And it seems like Osama made a couple of laps, or Cartwright made a mistake because look at that. 2 seconds between Knani and Cartwright. It was a pity not to see the battle between Kirillov and Osama, by the way.
Indeed, agreed. But it looks like we're right in the orbitary of High Tree, but we're actually not down the ability of the man. But it looks like he's doing a great job holding Kirill, covering the inside, as Tony Talviti once again is battling with the same car.
Yeah, because he waited for asking this in a great sportsmanship
Such a gentleman.
behavior. But
Gentleman.
if I can say, if I can say my, when something like that happens, I got a friend who told me like, if something like this happens, the throttle's on the right.
Well, that's true. But based on SimRacingOnline rules, if you do if something happens and you know you're the one who is at fault, you have the right to give the position back or serve a drive-through yourself without the admins taking action. So if you do that, you actually this is the finish line. Usama
No,
wins.
I think Askin made a mistake
He
because the
gave the
race is not
position,
finished. Race is not
or
finished
was it?
because no, it wasn't because Knani I think is on the last lap right now.
Yes, we have a battle too. Check this out, Ricardo.
Yeah, Kirillov wants that place.
Ooh, he
Look at
definitely
this
wants
bumper
it.
to bumper.
Definitely. Well, let's hope this ends well.
It's got one chance. Kirillov
One,
now
opp-
got one chance.
one
He has,
opportunity.
as we speak, Osama probably won the race. Sorry,
Yeah, he
Osama,
did.
but we are looking to the battle. If Kirillov wants to overtake, he has to try.
One chance, Ricardo. One opportunity to
Great
seize
move,
everything you've
great
ever
move.
wanted. One
Look at
moment.
high tree. I think Kirillov did it.
Oh,
Let's
this
see.
is sad, but I don't know who won. Who did? Who did? Tell me, Ricardo, right now. I want to know who did.
Kirillov did it.
Oh my!
Amazing.
Holy! Such a
Yeah,
great battle.
absolutely bad. Amazing. High
I
tree
think
was.
I think they don't know who won. They had to look at the top or at their overlay to know who got it. Because they were sad, but I think we need a photo check on that. I don't trust the game on this time. The director, get us the photo.
Look at that.
Oh, so close. He just lost the momentum right at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
Look at that. Look at that. He was going, or he slowed down. Did he slow
no,
down?
they had contact. Probably high tree was eating. Can you maybe
Oh, look
go
at them.
back for a little?
They're
Can we-
side by side right here. They should be side by side all the way.
No, I think that Kirillov is like.
He slowed down. Oh, that's the finish line. We were wrong, Ricardo. That's the finish line. We didn't see it. Slowly. Look at that. Oh my.
Amazing move by Kirillov right there.
Oh, you could fit a person right there. That's it. Look at that.
Probably less than.
Probably less than half a person, a baby. Look at it.
Absolutely
Look at
amazing,
it.
amazing,
So
amazing.
close. I mean,
And Hydri just fell down for that
that,
because
that
I
that's
think
the picture.
you needed to expect something like that by
True.
Kirillov.
Ricardo, that's the picture for this series from now on. That's how
Absolutely.
close it gets. And
If all the races are like this,
wow,
probably we would have so much fun. I mean, I repeat, it was a pity not to see the battle between Kirillov and Knani, but
of
I mean,
course.
it was a pretty nice race, and I think that 30 minutes more than 45 are just perfect.
Of course, as we get to the results, Usama Nani, which did a great job today, redeemed himself from last race, which he got P4, finishes P1, and Tim Cartwright finishes P2. Rob Tyler did a great job as well and finished P3, one of the fastest guys. Kirillov finishes P4, which means him and Usama will get the same points. Unfortunately, Usama does not take the lead in the championship because it is Kirill who won first. Mark Heitry gets P5, and Tony Talviti, when his first show up, not too shabby. I'm sure that the second race, once because he was getting figuring out the car, I'm sure he can do a better job in the next race. Indeed,
Oh, well, Nas, he was P3 actually. P4, he was fighting for P3 until the contact with Askinis happened.
that's very
But
unfortunate. Yeah,
if if I can say what I think, that was absolutely. I think that Askinis was like that was a race accident. No one had the fault. They were battling. Tony didn't have many room to go. Askinis was closing him,
that's
so
absolutely true. Tony was getting a little bit tired, but he did great for overall. Flavio P7 with a lot of things happening to him as well. Leudius Asikins, who very unfortunately lost all the position he made and now down in P8. Vidiges started P10, made up a position, actually made up so many positions, was three, but decided to give him away for some reason, which we don't know, and settles for P9. And Richard Charslow for P10. Unfortunately, what's left are all DNF from Joe Brown, if I'm correct, and some others,
Phil
and
Brown, not Joe.
Phil Brown. Sorry, Phil Brown, and three more, which we will get their names very shortly. Since
And it was a pity because Phil was another fast guy. I mean, he was second on Brands Edge, and he was fighting with Kirill Kirillov right here. And as we speak, Nas, we got the winner himself right here for you guys, Osama.
Yo, what's up?
congratulations, Uzama, for your race win. You redeemed yourself. First race wasn't as you expected, I assume. You got P4. This race, you proved you can fight for the championship. Indeed.
Yeah, most definitely. I think, yeah, the last race was a bit of a mess in terms of setup. But now, since we know a bit more on the car and overall the track is really good, yeah, I think we can do more than winning the race. We can fight for the championship.
That was an absolute amazing race we saw. Usama, you made the P1 in the qualifying. You fought your way through the whole race, being pressured by first it was I believe Kirill, and then it changed to Cartwright. How was the pressure? Was it too hard? Were you thinking about it too much, or was it just I'm gonna keep my consistency and try to win the race no matter the cost?
Well, first of all, I'm sorry for Kirill about the crash in the first lap. Well, I got a really bad start, and from there, he took the lead in the turn one, and then coming on to turn three, that was like the brakes were cold, so he closed the door really late, and I couldn't do anything. I just braked so hard, but like I think I tapped him a little bit, and he didn't stop. So yeah, cold break there didn't do us a favor, both of us, ruining the race for Kirill. But glad to see he fought through into P4. Yeah, but overall, the race pace was really good. I think I was really comfortable in terms of the pace. I was more like controlling the pace. I was not like I'm not gonna push too much since that's gonna just make me like do mistakes or something. I was really comfortable looking behind the cart right was coming in, but I was like keeping him in check, keeping him in that 1.5 seconds, which is the margin for a mistake. And if there's a mistake, it's like most likely it's just going to be a second loss. So keeping him there in that gap. Yeah, other than that, I was really comfortable. I think I lost the brake, the front left brake, because it was like saying 50 degrees all the race. But yeah, overall, I think it was a really good race. I really love the track. It's really amazing. Yeah, cars are just doing great.
Now, I don't know if you know this, Usama. Sorry, there, Ricardo. You have the same points as Kirill right now. But you still stand behind him because he was the one to get it first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the championship's too long. This is like second race, so yeah, I don't know. In terms of who's going to win the championship, it's a bit too early to say. But yeah, I mean, good points today. Recovery from last race, and yeah, still a long championship to go.
Absolutely, Sama. And we saw that on Brexit race, you kind of overdrive. We've been overdriving the car, which led you to a lot of mistakes. I
Mhm.
don't know if it was something with the setup or something with the driving style that you changed here in Knockhill, because it was like uh, through all the race, looking not to offend you, but like a completely different person. You were extremely sharp, extremely calm. You seem more in control here in Knockhill than in Brands Hatch. It's something due to the setup, or you work on your driving
Mm.
style.
I think it's a little bit of both worlds. Yeah, definitely the setup worked more on the setup. Is more comfortable right now in this setup than the branded hatch. And the second factor, yeah, like you said, drive install. Yeah, when I come into the race one, yeah, I was like driving it like a rear wheel drive, which didn't work at all. On the steer is like all over the place. And yeah, so I had to work more on the driving style, look like try more power in the corner, trying to make it like uh, get more grip from the front tires into the slow corners as well. But yeah, it's all down to learning and changing the driving style. But yeah, also the track, Brands Hatch, I'm never comfortable in Brands Hatch. It's a really like a track that like amazes me in terms of the difficulty. And yeah, like I said, driving style 100%, yeah, and setup as well, yeah.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
Well, Usama, you did great.
Thanks.
Behind you, there was so many things that happened. If you, by any chance, checked out the VOD, you will see so many things that happened at the end. We got a photo finish, something we don't usually
Yeah.
get. A photo finish where they finished, I believe, thousands of a seconds separated by each other. We didn't even know. I think they didn't know until they had to look at the layout, which was super awesome to see. Obviously, we had four-way battle, three-way cars fighting, and so many things.
It's really amazing what Kirill did from P14 to P4. This track is definitely really hard to overtake. I'm guessing that last corner is where you have to make the preparation to take the position into turn one. But yeah, it's really amazing what Kirill did, and yeah, the photo finish. I did see it last second in the stream, and yeah, it's like that's crazy, and yeah, that's really amazing to see.
So, Osama, next race will be. Let me check one
It is in
second.
Birmingham Superpix.
Birmingham. Never heard of this truck. Have you ever driven it?
I've driven in it. I
No.
know Birmingham. I've driven in it. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think
And
in BTCC cars it should be great, Ricardo.
and good thing to see is that the championship is actually expanding, because we got like 11 cars in the first race, 14 the second race in Knockhill. I already saw 16 people signed in for the Birmingham race. That's good. Means that the championship is fun.
Indeed.
It's,
So the Birmingham, sorry, there was some. The Birmingham is all straights. It's all mostly straights, and there's a two roundabouts. It's sort of like Marrakesh, if you guys know that track.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just straights, and I think we're gonna see a lot of opportunities of. It's not gonna. It's gonna be so easy on the tires, but a lot of overtaking opportunities. It's gonna be presented, I believe.
Well, I mean, I don't see overtaking to the speed because these cars like flat out very quickly. So and they don't even need the toe to flat out. So I don't know. Maybe like we're gonna see a lot of breaking, breaking like dive bombs and stuff. But in terms of like the speed, I don't know. I'm not really sure. We have to
Oh,
wait and see.
that's some insight to some. Great, great. You mentioned that. Is it possible to change the final drive and get some more speed?
Well, yes and no, because if you put too much final on the final, it's not gonna reach the speed, and you're gonna be really slow on the exits. And if you put like too low, you're gonna be nowhere on the straight. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be like a really like a sweet spot where you need to put it. And yeah, but like for this track, I opted to go for the lowest final possible to get that exit speed. And yeah, I don't know.
Well, it was fun while it lasted. I'm sure Birmingham will bring its own spices, sorry, and its own action pack that we always get. I hope we get another photo finish. That's absolutely amazing to see such things happens in race because it gets you excited. It gets everybody excited, especially us and the viewers, and I'm sure the drivers too. And because you don't know what the outcome until you have to look somewhere else, and what makes this sport so fun, and especially what makes this series so fun, the BTCC. If you haven't played the BTCC game, everybody you should go try that out if you have a PS1. If you don't, get an emulator, try it. So good.
And,
From
and
that
if you
on,
never and if you never heard about BTCC or Super Touring, go to YouTube and check it.
go to Discord and add Ricardo. He will tell you all the stories you need to hear. That man loves BTCC.
Absolutely. And so, just a couple of quick reminder, guys. You want to do it, Nas, or I'm gonna do it. You choose.
You take the pleasure, Ricardo.
Yeah, perfect. So, first of all, thank you to Sim Racing Online to the organization of these races. If you want to be part of it, it's all free. You just need to have the game. Obviously, these mods are all free. You go just register on the website as Sim Racing Online, www.simracingonline.co.uk. You register, you sign in, and it's completely free. You can race. Just be sure to read the rules before. And what else to say, Nas? Join our Discord if you want. Either Racing Team. Uh, Obviously, subscribe to our Twitch channel. And what else?
And
Delivery.
then,
Yeah, delivery
yes,
is on Fiverr. Yeah,
yes,
if you guys uh, want to have your own livery design on iRacing, ACC, R Factor 2, and others, obviously, you just can check on our page on Fiverr and look at what we can we can give you.
absolutely. I mean, we have in our Discord a channel where all deliveries that been made are presented to their clients, and you can see all the deliveries. Actually, you can get your livery for this series if you feel like it, but don't feel so pressured. Even unless you want to look cool in the track and have a little camera time. No, that was just a joke. We look for action, but definitely go out and check out the Fiverr. So many great little skins. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Sim Racing Online. They got all the votes
Oh
that
yeah,
we did, all
I
the
forgot.
races we have, all are there. And Ricardo for Gore, that's okay. But then again, we appreciate everybody who joined us today. We appreciate the viewers. Everybody's commented. I haven't looked in today. I'm sorry for that. But if everybody subscribed, we appreciate it. All the follows, all the subs, we appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who watched our votes before and who everybody will come to the future if we don't see each other again. But I'm sure we will. We hope to see you here again. We will see you in Birmingham in 1 week from now. Thanks you everybody for being here and goodbye.
Bye bye.